Last time head coach Chris Watson Liberty headed up to Western Albemarle, they came out of it banged up, really banged up, as Zach Webb broke his leg in that game in a victory in Crozet. That game started late due to a weather delay. So did last night's game, but Zach Webb, obviously, having long been graduated, did Liberty come out unscathed? They got a victory. Injury-wise, A-okay. Here's Chris Watson's thoughts on the game on the Sports Buffet.
Liberty had to make the trip up to Western Albemarle and Crozet, and if I'm not mistaken, Coach Watts, that place might hold a few bad memories from a couple years ago. Is that right?
Well, yeah, and it was kind of deja vu. When we came up here 2 years ago, they had a freak storm and delayed the game for almost 2 hours and looked like we weren't going to play, and we finally played it late. And so we come up here today, and the exact same thing happened. We drove through a huge storm through the mountain. It continued when we got here. It looked, all intents and purposes, we weren't going to play. But there was no other option but to play tonight for scheduling purposes, so we ended up getting to do it. So it's kind of a strange reoccurrence. Just fortunately, we didn't have the broken leg incident like we did the last time we were here.
We're talking to Chris Watts here on the Sports Buffet podcast. His Liberty Minutemen beat Western Albemarle 27-0. Is the season starting too early nowadays?
Well, it's rough. I mean, it's hard to get in sync. I don't really feel like, I just don't feel comfortable at this moment. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to go back and do it again.
Right.
We gotta win. But normally I feel a little bit more comfortable about the plays that we're running and what we can and can't do. And we're very basic right now, offensively. And tonight, what we needed was our defense because our defense is a lot simpler in a lot of ways, and they've had the opportunity to step up tonight. They did a great job.
What went right for the Minutemen besides the defensive effort?
We got our offense clicking at times, and that was the key. Fuquan Good had a real big night at tailback. Trevor Cheek played quarterback his first varsity game as a quarterback, and he had his good moments and his bad moments, and once he started getting a little more comfortable back there, we did a better job.
You talk about being basic. Are there positives to being basic right now?
There are a lot of positives, but if you get yourself in certain situations in a game where you need to be able to do something different, then that's when it bothers you. If it's just you're just grinding things away and doing your thing, people think that you got to run 1,000 plays to have a good offense and a big long play chart, but in reality, the teams that succeed don't have very many plays. They just got a few little things they'll go to when they need it, and we haven't really been able to rep those go-to things as much in practice as we like, so you don't feel comfortable running them in the game. So we were a little bit limited in that, but it helped. I think tonight it did help us.
What is something tonight that did not go like you wanted it to?
We got to work on our kicking game. We did not do a very good job in the kicking game. Extra point wise, we did okay, but our punting and our kickoffs, we just didn't get the kind of blocking, the kind of coverage that we like to have.
You haven't had a young team lately, to my knowledge. Do you have to be a different Chris Watts with these guys? Do you have to kind of coddle them a little bit more, or are you just yourself?
Because our offense is, there's so much pressure on the quarterback and guys to read plays and do things on the go, that, like with Trevor playing quarterback tonight, if I were to get on him every time he made a mistake tonight, he would have gotten yelled at a lot. But I think it would have been counterproductive. He would have struggled. Whereas, some of the older guys, when OB played, and I had a tendency to get a little upset with OB from time to time, just because I know he'd been in there in the trenches for a lot longer, and he knew better than some of the mistakes he made. But for his defense, there were a lot of times that I was mad at him, and I watched the film, turned out he was right. So that's another thing. I'm pretty cautious about getting too hard on the quarterbacks unless it's something really obvious, and some of these other younger kids too.
Everybody else opened with the district game tonight. How glad were you that you drew the straw that didn't open with the district game?
I was very glad, but even more than that, I was just glad that we actually played, because there was a long stretch here this evening where it looked like we weren't going to play, and maybe have to play on Monday, or a field of Virginia High School we play on Sunday, or some kind of crazy thing, and there was even talk of not playing it at all. And so I just wanted to make sure we got out of here tonight with a game, one way or the other. And that, I'm glad it wasn't a district game. And I'm even more glad that we actually got to play, because I'm sure it probably didn't rain a drop anywhere else.
Right, I saw no rain at City Stadium tonight.
Brian Sinnott called his wife when it was pouring, and I'm talking about pouring and lightning right on top of us for an hour, and she was at the pool. So, it was
small world.
Well, and again, the same thing last time we came up here. There hadn't been any rain, any forecast rain, or nothing. It was sunny all day, and we got up here and started warming up, and a storm blew in, and we sat in their gym for 2 hours. So to come back to the exact same place and have it happen again is kind of weird.
I think it's because of some of the company you keep, to be honest with you, why you get those bad weather.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Go ahead.
That's all right. I would say all the Western Albemarle people are probably, we're bringing it with us. It hadn't rained in Bedford in 3 months. We play our first game and it pours the rain.
Last question for you, and we'll get you back on this weekend to preview the Seminole District and get more specific. But how good of a thing is it that you guys play 1 week, now you got a week off until September the 7th?
Normally I wouldn't like having the bye week this early, or in the past anyway. But right now, we got a few nicks and bruises and things like that give us a chance to heal those up and give us a chance to get in better shape. We just, with the heat 1 week, we lost almost a whole week of conditioning just about, because it was difficult to get out there, and a lot of restrictions on the kids with the humidity and the heat. And we got a lot of guys, they're playing a lot of downs out here, both sides of the football, and we need to get in better shape so that they can do that, and play effectively the whole time. So for us to be able to heal up and get in shape, it came at a pretty good time.
Congratulations on the W tonight, Coach, and we'll talk to you this weekend about the rest of the Seminole.
Thank you very much.
Chris Watts on the Sports Buffet.